You know what time it is. Continuing the Substance card series. Now, let me go back. Make sure I pulled. Okay. We back at it again. All right, let me take the 4 cards out from the bottom. All right. So 4 cards is out. They're over here. I think I'm gonna do a shuffle. So we ain't did a shuffle for like a video or something. So I'm gonna shuffle them up again. Make sure I get a good little mix. All right. It's cold. It is cold over here. It's freaking freezing. Okay. All right. So the question is, what is something you've never taken accountability for? Boom. Something I've never taken accountability for. This is going to be interesting. I would say something I've never taken accountability for is, I'd say being more active with my family. I'd say that's definitely something I am, I'd say I haven't taken accountability for. Mainly because of the fact that from the previous video, I've stated that I've always tended to be a lone wolf, kind of just doing my own thing, solo doloing. Because basically, like in the video before, I said, like, once I got out of foster care, I just split it. Like, I just dipped. I'm not saying I necessarily cut ties with my family or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, you know, I basically was just like, you know what, I turned 18. I'm going to do my own thing because I didn't want to keep reliving that trauma. And now as an adult at 31, I basically, you know, I just look at things differently now. Like it's not nothing personal against my family or anything like that. It's just like, I don't know. It's just like, I feel like every time that I would go back home, I feel like I was reliving that trauma again. And it was just like me being the oldest and remembering everything that went on growing up and seeing my siblings and all the things that was going on with them and how they were being abused. And it was just tough because I felt like there was nothing really I could do or say anymore, because once we all got separated into foster care, I felt like they wouldn't have took my advice and accountability. And I want to go into an even deeper story about this. Is my younger brother, Jasper. You know, he always wanted to be like me. He was like, you know, he wanted to be like his older brother. He's like, I want to be a rapper. I want to do this. I want to do that, and stuff like that. And I always told him, I was like, don't make music your number one priority. I was like, you got to set a foundation first. You got to have consistent income coming in order for you to do music on the side. Because being realistic, no, I'm not making money off of music. I probably make like, what? Let me see how much I've made off of music. I want to say I probably made like $100 at most, and I've gotten like 1.3 million streams, and I've only made $100. And I was like, you can't live off of that. I was like, the only way you're gonna get like major money is if you're like really popping online and people are really streaming your stuff, and like your like music is hitting so hard to the point where like people are playing it enough to where it's starting to get on playlists and it's starting to chart, and then you are able to go on like little tours and stuff like that. Or if you decide to sign to a label, which I'm 100% against, don't do it. Definitely don't sign to a label unless you are 100% sure that a lot of those things are going in your favor. Because at the end of the day, people forget that the label wants you. You don't need the label. The label wants you. So you need to work that deal in your favor. But besides that, back to Jasper. I was trying to tell him, like, bro, you gotta get your money right. You gotta get a job, do something. Like, you gotta be bringing in consistent income, and then that money, you can put some of it to the side, and then you can pursue your music, you know? But it's not gonna work if you're just pouring money that you don't have to sustain yourself. You're pouring it into your music, and then you're like, oh, boom, I hope this song hits. I hope this works. I hope that works. I was like, you got to be realistic, man. And I'm not trying to crush anybody's dreams or anything like that, but it's like this shit, it takes work. Like, you got to be fully dedicated to this shit. And me, I'm not even fully dedicated to it. Like, when I'm making music, I literally have dedicated time for me to sit there and put my headphones on, listen to some music, and go at it, start writing. As soon as something pops in my head, I'm like, oh, this is a good idea. Let me write this down. And most of the time, I'll have like one verse of a song done, and I won't come back to that song for like at least like 2 or 3 weeks, maybe even a month, because I just don't catch the bug for writing a song at the moment. I'm like thinking about other stuff. I'm like, is this taken care of? Is that taken care of? Like, I have priorities. And music is not on the top of my priority as far as me having my life together. It's like, it's cool to do it on the side when you have the funds to allocate to that, but you shouldn't be allocating your primary funds to doing music. And another thing I was upset about in regards to him was the face tattoos. I told him, I was like, bro, I was like, don't get face tattoos. Don't do it. I was like, don't get me wrong, like everybody, I love tattoos. Shit, I have a full sleeve of tattoos. I have tattoos over here. I got a tattoo on my chest and everything. But I don't have any tattoos that can't be covered up by a shirt. That can't be covered up by, long sleeve shirt. Because at the end of the day, I was like, no matter what, if anything goes wrong, I can always put on a long sleeve t-shirt and go back to working a 9 to 5. If I have to go back and work a 9 to 5, I still have the ability to do so, and it won't affect my ability to get a higher paying job just because of the fact that my tattoos aren't visible. And I tried to tell him that. I was like, bro, you don't do it. And he did it anyways. So now, basically, he's going through the motions and he's trying to figure things out. And it's like, bro, you just made things 10 times harder on yourself by doing it. Because, I mean, now in this generation, most businesses, they're kind of getting used to the tattoos, but like the amount of tattoos he has on his face, like, they're not going to want to put you in the front. They're not gonna, you're not gonna be in the public view. You're gonna be in the back stocking stuff or working the night shift when people aren't really around. It's like if you want to make money, you got to be the face. Like you want to be in people's face. You want to be like, hey, I'm so and so. This is what I'm doing. And you can't do that when you got freaking your whole face covered up in tattoos. Like, and it just bugs me. Like it really bugs the shit out of me that he did that. But at the end of the day, you got to come to the realization as an older sibling, like, hey, he's an adult and he made his own decisions in life, and you just got to let it play out. You just got to let it ride out. So I would definitely say, like, when it comes to something I never took accountability for, it's definitely trying to get back in contact with my family. Like, for real, get in contact with my family. Not just like, hey, I talk to you when I can, or I'll see you when I get a chance. I should have been more active. But at the same time, I was going through a lot. So I would say that's my answer to this question. Not being more accountable and being active with my family. Do one more. All right. What advice would your older self give you right now? That's the question. Yeah, I can see that. I know it's kind of dark in here. I'm going to have to edit it, make it a little bit brighter. But what advice would your older self give you right now? Well, I would say my older self is definitely proud of the person I am today and the person I will eventually become in the future. But I would say that my older self would tell me to keep going. He would say, hey, you know what? Everything you're doing right now, it's going to work out. It's like you're investing, you're doing your music stuff. You're self-educating yourself all the time. Like you're looking into, even now I'm looking into new investment opportunities and things like that. And trying to find a way to, expand, and make more money, So I'd say, yeah, that's probably the advice my older self would give me is to definitely keep going. And I would probably say that my older self would probably tell me now that I'm maybe a little too hard on myself, honestly, because I feel like I push myself a lot harder than other people. And when I tend to make a mistake, I like literally punish myself for that. When it's completely normal and it's completely human to make mistakes. But it's like, I guess you can call that childhood trauma that I've tried to basically be a perfectionist. I tried to stay out of the light so that, my dad wouldn't, abuse us and stuff like that. Or I tried to do everything to be this perfect child, but regardless of the fact, like it doesn't make a difference. So I'd say he'd probably say that too. I need to stop being so hard on myself. Yeah, just keep going. Stop being hard on myself. He'd probably say, go for what you want in this life. I believe that because a lot of us, we have a tendency to procrastinate, or we have the tendency to second guess ourselves and be like, you know what? If I don't, what if it doesn't work out? Or what if this doesn't work out? Or what if this happens? But I'll tell you, like Nipsey said in one of his interviews, he said, "You got to believe in what you're doing, and don't think that it ain't gonna work out. Because when you believe in what you're doing, it's gonna work out. It's like no matter, you may stumble, you may fall, but if you keep going at it, you keep staying consistent with what you're doing, it's gonna work out. It just takes time. Like even with these videos that I'm doing now in this series on YouTube, I'm only getting like a couple views, probably like 8 views now, a video. But I don't really care. I'm doing this for me. This is something that I want to do. This is something that I'm documenting so that, maybe one day I can go back and look at this and be like, dang, I was really, committed to doing this, or dang, look how far I've grown on YouTube. But it's not, it's not going to happen overnight. It's not like you just, oh, I'm going to upload this video and poof, out of nowhere, I got friggin' 100,000 people that viewed my video. I woke up to friggin' what's the subscriber amount to start running ads? I think it's like 500 subs so you can start getting ads on your videos to pull in ad revenue. And it's like, it's not realistic. And I know it's not going to happen overnight. So you just got to keep going, keep grinding. And hopefully this is a good answer. Excuse me. Hopefully this is a good answer to this question. And let's just keep grinding, everybody. Keep focusing. Keep doing what you're doing. If you got something that you want to do, go for it. Believe in it and keep going for it. Keep striving for it. Because at the end of the day, the only person that's going to have the regrets is you. When you're freaking 80 years old, sitting there wherever you're going to be at, and sitting there thinking to yourself like, damn, I wasted all this time not doing what I wanted to do, and now I'm sitting here and my life is going to waste. So just do it, man. Don't care what people think. At the end of the day, do not care what people think, because everybody's going to have some type of judgment, something to say about you, whatever. So what? Fuck them. Do what's best for you. And that's it. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace out.